Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Police have told RHOBH alum, Kim Zolciak, to stop calling because, at this point, it is not an emergency. The mother of 6 is embroiled in a divorce with her husband of over a decade, RHOBH. Yet things have been so dramatic that the cops are always being called. So why did the authorities tell Kim to calm down on the calls? Keep reading for more details. For a decade, Kim Zolciak and RHOBH were an extremely happy couple. He had adopted her 2 older daughters, Brielle and Ariana, from her previous relationships. They then went on to have 4 children of their own and had the perfect little family. Unfortunately, Kim loved to gamble and shop, leading to financial distress. In 2022, their lavish Georgia mansion faced foreclosure, but they dodged it until early 2023. Then, it all resurfaced and they faced an auction. Once again, they were able to get out of that, but a short time later, they filed for divorce. Allegations were thrown at one another, and though they tried to reconcile, that did not last. The police were soon called to their home, becoming a repeated event. She alleged he would not let her leave their driveway while he was at the end of his rope. They were locking themselves into bedrooms and their poor minor children were the casualties. Just before Thanksgiving, the police were called yet again. Since their home is headed to auction, they were packing and taking down the curtains. Kim Zolciak claimed RHOBH was the aggressor, but he alleged she struck him. Their children could not necessarily corroborate Kim's story, but the police want Kim to stop. A Reddit thread was started to share how they had to let Kim know they could not keep coming to Kim's home, simply because of divorce spats. Followers felt awful for the children, but moreover, could not believe this was still happening. The big question that followers want to know is whether will it ever end for Kim Zolciak and RHOBH. This has been going on for nearly 2 years with no end in sight. Hopefully, some resolution is reached so that they all can find peace and the children stop getting dragged into the drama. Do you agree that the police are not needed as mediators and Kim and RHOBH need to work this out as adults? Finally, can you believe their divorce is still going on? Let us know in the comments below. Kim Zolciak has always found herself at the center of drama, but this time it wasn't on reality TV, it was with law enforcement. The former Real Housewives of Atlanta star, known for her extravagant lifestyle, bold personality, and love of attention, reportedly made so many calls to the police that authorities had to tell her to stop. It all started when Kim, amid her ongoing personal and financial troubles, began dialing 911 for issues that officers deemed non-emergencies. Sources say the first few calls were taken seriously. After all, a high-profile celebrity claiming distress is usually enough to warrant attention. But as the days went on, police grew increasingly frustrated with the nature of her complaints. Among the calls were reports about loud noises from neighbors she believed were sending negative energy. A supposed suspicious vehicle parked outside her home that turned out to be a delivery driver had a missing Chanel purse that was later found under a pile of shopping bags. In another instance, Kim allegedly called authorities in tears, insisting that someone had tampered with her Wi-Fi, only for officers to discover that her teenage daughter had simply changed the password to keep her siblings off TikTok. Eventually, dispatchers began recognizing her number and rolling their eyes before transferring the call. One officer reportedly told her, "Ms. Zolciak, unless someone is in immediate danger, you need to stop calling 911. Kim's latest antics come at a time when she is facing financial and legal troubles. Her highly publicized split from RHOBH, her mounting debts, and reports of foreclosure on her lavish mansion have made headlines for months. It seems that as her personal world crumbles, she may be seeking comfort in the one place she has always turned to for attention, the drama of a crisis." Authorities claim Kim went as far as to request an officer come to her home for a wellness check after what she described as a traumatizing event. When pressed for details, she claimed that her coffee machine had malfunctioned, nearly spilling hot liquid on her designer rug. It was at this point that the dispatcher reportedly gave a firm but polite warning that the police force was not a personal concierge service. "Ms. Zolciak, 911 is for emergencies only," the operator told her. "This is not an emergency." As the news of Kim's excessive 911 calls spread, her friends and former castmates weighed in. One anonymous source close to Kim suggested that she may be spiraling due to stress. Kim thrives on attention, and with everything going on, her divorce, the money problems, she's feeling out of control. I think calling 911 makes her feel like she has someone looking out for her. Others were less sympathetic. An unnamed RHOBH cast member reportedly rolled her eyes at the situation, saying, "Kim always wants to be the victim. If she could call 911 to complain about bad lighting at a restaurant, she would." Meanwhile, her estranged husband, RHOBH, was allegedly furious about the situation, claiming that it was a waste of public resources. RHOBH has been trying to keep things together, but Kim is making it impossible. A source said, "She's making calls to the police like their customer service." He's embarrassed. The local police department is now considering whether Kim's repeated calls could warrant a fine for misuse of emergency services. Some jurisdictions impose hefty penalties on individuals who repeatedly call 911 for frivolous reasons, and Kim's behavior might qualify. Social media users have also weighed in, with many criticizing her actions. People with real emergencies can't get through because Kim is calling about her Wi-Fi. One person tweeted. Others joked that she was just looking for an excuse to get back on TV. "This is her audition for cops, isn't it?" a viral post read. So far, Kim has remained unbothered by the backlash, claiming that she only called 911 when necessary. In a brief Instagram live session, she addressed the situation with her signature bravado. "Listen, I have every right to call if I feel unsafe. I all don't know what I'm dealing with," she said, flipping her signature blonde hair. "It's not my fault if they don't take things seriously." She then added cryptically, "There's more to the story, but I'll share when I'm ready." With legal troubles mounting, police telling her to stop calling, and her personal life in turmoil, it's unclear what's next for Kim Zolciak. Will she lay low and focus on rebuilding her life, or will she continue finding ways to stir up drama? One thing is certain, whether through reality TV, social media, or, unfortunately, emergency calls, Kim will always find a way to keep the spotlight on her. As of now, local authorities have not issued any formal charges, but they have made one thing clear: unless it's a real emergency, Kim Zolciak should probably lose their number. Kim Zolciak, the reality star known for her extravagant lifestyle, signature blonde wigs, and dramatic persona, found herself at the center of an unusual controversy, one that didn't involve Bravo cameras, but rather the local police department. Reports surfaced that law enforcement had firmly instructed Zolciak to stop calling their emergency line for non-emergencies, leaving fans wondering what exactly was going on behind the doors of the Zolciak mansion. It all started with what seemed like an ordinary Tuesday evening at the sprawling Georgia estate. While most people were winding down, Kim was reportedly pacing through her mansion, phone in hand, convinced that an emergency was unfolding. According to sources, Zolciak had dialed 911 multiple times over the course of a few days, citing concerns that in her eyes were urgent. The calls ranged from a dispute over a missing designer handbag to a Wi-Fi outage that left her unable to post her latest selfie. In one particularly bizarre call, she allegedly reported that someone had moved her wigs out of their usual order, hinting at a possible home intruder, or, as skeptics might suggest, one of her children playing a harmless prank. Police, however, saw things differently. Each time officers responded to the scene, they found no actual threats, crimes, or dangers. Eventually, their patience wore thin. One officer reportedly advised Zolciak, "Ma'am, this is not an emergency line. Please stop calling unless it's a real crisis."